Well, hi guys. Welcome to Weekly Travel Updates. I'm Melinda Fargas and I host this each week. Boy, this is running slow tonight. Well, I am catching you up on 2 weeks because last Monday I was prepping for a colonoscopy. And I thought that I could do this, but nope, I could not. I apologize. But lots has gone on. Oh my goodness. Air, cruise, tours. I'm here to tell you about it. So this week, we have a lot of turbulence in the travel segment. Airlines have had incidents where a Delta flight caught on fire, what's landing gear caught on fire, and the the passengers had to deplane down the slide. They all were safe. It was before they took off, but it was just an incident that couldn't be averted. And then another incident with a pilot who was removed from the aircraft because they found that he was drunk. Yep. The most interesting part was that they found a large bottle, a plastic bottle, so that he could carry it on board undetected. That was half gone, and it was very cheap alcohol. I really hate that. And in case you haven't seen, it was a Delta pilot. And I love Delta, but both of these instances were Delta this week. And passengers from many areas had delays because of the heat. More than 1,000 flights have been canceled this week. Heat-related delays. I'm not really sure what causes delays for the heat other than, boy, I bet that they cannot move all of that luggage as quickly as they normally do. But thousands of flights were canceled from Nebraska all the way to the Carolinas, particularly Chicago, Dallas, and Atlanta were most impacted this week. Well, the U.S. was not the only ones facing challenges this week because the Russian Aeroflot Airlines had a cyber attack, and it caused more than 100 cancellations or delays. And like any carrier, they are connecting to other flights, other airlines. So it completely disrupted travel over Russia more than 24 hours. Let's shift to the seas. Passengers encountered some unexpected events this week. Now, last week, this time, I was about to tell you that 3,200 passengers arrived to get on the Celebrity Beyond, except they didn't. And they were told day of departure. Wow. I hope they had a good travel agent, and I hope they had their cell phones so that they could reach someone that would accommodate them. Now, in fairness, Celebrity made it right. They refunded their crews. They gave them 100% cruise credit for another sailing. But the Beyond left Miami and went over to Paradise Island in the Bahamas to a shipyard, and it stayed there all week. We're hoping, they say that it has been fixed. I particularly hope so because I have a passenger sailing the end of August on the Beyond, and she loves Celebrity. I love this ship, and it's doing Eastern Caribbean for her, so I really don't want it to get messed up. Well, we are going to jump into other cruise news because NCL really made people mad this week. They canceled. They didn't cancel. They revised the October 29th sailing. It was supposed to go to Nassau, Bimini in the Bahamas, and Great Stirrup Cay, the NCL island. Except they were notified this week of a change of itinerary. And now the NCL getaway, in place of Bahamas, is going to go to Cozumel, a day at sea, and Great Stirrup Cay. So how upset would you be if you had booked a Bahamas package, sailing to 3 Bahamas ports, and now you're going to Mexico and 1 Bahama port? The challenge is that it's too late to cancel. They are beyond final payment date. And well, right now for October 29th, they're from 25% to 50% cancellation fee. Next week, it will be 50% cancellation fee. So, and they're saying it's due to port availability. Now, that just means they're saying that in Nassau, they can't fit another ship, even though for that time period, there's only 3 ships in Nassau. How many times have you been in Nassau that the pier is full? I've been there when there were 6 ships at one time. So we'll see how that goes. Then the Carnival ship out of Galveston had a lot of verbiage in social media this week. It seems the FBI and officials met the ship upon arrival in Galveston, and a deceased passenger was on board and taken off the ship, to which many passengers made a big deal out of. Carnival says there was no wrongdoing. This was a natural death. I heard an interview this week of a doctor who was on board. They go on board for 3 months. And during his 3-month stint on board a large cruise ship, there were 41 deaths. 3 months. That's not a long time. I was very surprised to see how many deaths occur during a cruise. It was a lot. I've had passengers tell me, oh yeah, almost every cruise I've been on, somebody died. Now, I've been blessed. I've been on 40 cruises plus, and I have never known that someone passed away. But just like on the largest ship at sea this week, there was 2 crew members from South Africa, and a male and a female ended up in an argument, and the guy stabbed this 28-year-old crew member. Now, he was a crew member too. And after stabbing her, he ran and dove off the ship. Now, they recovered his body and he passed away. And the South African lady is healing and should be fine. But wow, can you imagine? Now, I doubt many of the passengers on the ship actually knew what was going on. But wow, the wild world of cruising. Then I met with our sandals rep. And our sandals rep is very cool. He's new to the area, young guy, getting married in a few weeks. And he shared the fabulous sale that's going on. I will just tell you, some things end tonight, but Sandals is known for just extending and extending and extending. We'll see. It's called the July Black Friday sale. And if you stay 5 nights at any Sandals, you get $175 in spa credit. And if you stay 7 nights, in addition to that, you get $175 in excursions from Island Roots. Island Roots is Sandals' private excursion company. They just hold themselves to a higher level, and that's what they offer to Sandals customers. Anyway, there are rates up to 65% off, particularly at the South Beach location in Jamaica. It has just undergone a complete renovation. Every floor, every room, every public area. And this is the Sandals that has the over the water bungalows. And they're not $20,000 for a week like they used to be, but they're still quite expensive. So if that's in your future, you let me know. I would share with you that these are some of the, oops, let me remove this. These are some of the cyber secure options, just things that we ought to be aware of, because some of the things before you get ready to leave, notify your phone company, your credit card company that you are going to travel, what dates you're going to travel, and where you're traveling to. Sometimes your phone will not work if you have not advised Verizon or whoever. Next, keep your mobile device updated. It is everywhere that I read for cybersecurity. Update it often. I'm guilty myself of not updating it frequently enough. Disable auto connect to avoid unintended connections. If you're traveling on a cruise ship, you better have it on airplane mode. If you're traveling internationally and you're paying by the minute or by the day of use, the Verizon plan I've used several times offered $10 per day of use. So avoid those weird calls. Even, wouldn't it be aggravating to get spam calls that you're having to pay for? Ooh, boy. Avoid using the public Wi-Fi's for sensitive work. Make sure that you don't activate a PIN while you are on a public Wi-Fi. They highly suggest you use a VPN, and I'm looking for a partner that I can suggest to you that securely connects you and protects your devices while you're traveling amongst other people who are out there to steal your information. Don't leave devices unattended in public places. I've told you about the grab and runs. You know, you're sitting down with people getting ready to travel. Maybe you're at one of the restaurants. People are walking by you and your cell phone is laying out on the table. Well, people are walking by, grabbing that cell phone and taking off with it. And what can you do? You can't catch them, or they are smart. Stay alert. Still don't click suspicious links, especially when you're international. Web pages or push notifications. Just don't do it. And after vacation, notify your credit card company and your phone company that you are back stateside, so that it will not, they will not be looking for any new requests. They won't be offering. Shoot, hold on one second. Dadgummit, why can't I make that? Oh, there it is. Okay. Anyway, make sure that you're ultra careful, because they're out there and they're out there to get you. I talked to a young honeymoon couple today, and they have only been on one cruise, and they went with us on a group cruise. And it's going to be an experience to share all of the do's and don'ts to a very young couple. I'm excited to do it. Well, while I was away, I was going to share with you pictures of my grandson. Trey and Maya went to the beach, and Trey and Maya went to the beach, and so look at this face. He's so cute. This is Grayson Vargas. This is Trey and Maya's baby. This is a picture of the three of them. Isn't that good? Oh my word. Look at this. And just to show you how happy this kid is, look. Oh my goodness. This is the most precious thing. Trey got sunburned, fried. And Maya and Gray stayed under the tent and protected themselves. But anyway, here, look at this happy baby. Oh my word. Well, y'all, I thank you for hanging out with me. I want to share with you, we have been so busy. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the business. I have received more phone messages, which is exactly the way I'd love for you to reach me. My phone number is listed right down here at the bottom, or you can pick up if you don't pick up the phone and call me, you can text me. Oh, you can't text 222-TRIP. You have to call that number and push 1 for Melinda. All right, guys. I thank you so much for watching and hanging out tonight. Remember to travel safe. Remember that without a travel agent, you are on your own. Ciao. Until next week, come hang out with us. See ya.